Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll talk about World War II. World War II, the largest and deadliest conflict in human history, involved more than 50 nations and was fought on land, sea, and air in nearly every part of the world. Also known as the Second World War, it was caused in part by the economic crisis of the Great Depression and by political tensions left unresolved following the end of World War I. The war began when Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939 and raged across the globe until 1945, when Japan surrendered to the United States after atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. By the end of World War II, an estimated 60 to 80 million people had died, including up to 55 million civilians, and numerous cities in Europe and Asia were reduced to rubble. Among the people killed were 6 million Jews murdered in Nazi concentration camps as part of Hitler's diabolical final solution, now known as the Holocaust. The legacy of the war included the creation of the United Nations as a peacekeeping force and geopolitical rivalries that resulted in the Cold War. Leading up to World War II, the First World War wrecked Europe and left many problems unsolved. This helped a bad guy named Hitler rise to power in Germany. He took over the country and made plans to invade other places to get more land for Germans, whom he thought were superior. Other countries were busy with their own problems and didn't stop him until it was too late. Outbreak of World War II, 1939. In August 1939, Germany and Russia made a secret deal not to attack each other. This worried Britain and France because they had promised to help Poland if Germany attacked. On September 1st, Germany invaded Poland anyway, and 2 days later Britain and France declared war on Germany, starting World War II. Russia also attacked Poland from the other side, and soon they had divided the country between them. For the next 6 months, not much happened on land, but at sea, German submarines sank many British ships. World War II in the West, 1940–41. Germany invaded Norway and Denmark in April 1940, then swept through Belgium, Netherlands, and France with lightning speed, trapping British forces who were evacuated from Dunkirk. France fell and was divided under German and Vichy rule. Hitler then bombed Britain heavily, the Blitz, to soften it up for invasion, but the RAF won the Battle of Britain and the invasion was called off. With Britain holding strong, the U.S. started sending crucial aid under the Lend-Lease Act. Hitler versus Stalin, Operation Barbarossa, 1941–42. By early 1941, Hitler controlled much of Europe and was ready for his big goal, invading Russia. He wanted Lebensraum, or living space, for the superior German race, and also planned to kill all the Jews in Europe. On June 22, 1941, he launched Operation Barbarossa, a surprise attack on Russia. Even though Russia had more tanks and planes, they were older and less effective. The Germans quickly advanced, reaching 200 miles from Moscow by July. But Hitler and his generals argued, delaying the next attack until October. By then, the Russians fought back and the brutal winter arrived, stopping the Germans in their tracks. World War II in the Pacific, 1941–43. While Britain fought Germany in Europe, Japan was busy taking over European colonies in Asia and fighting China. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, killing over 2,300 people and bringing America into World War II. After some early Japanese victories, the U.S. turned the tide in the Pacific with victories at Midway and Guadalcanal. By mid-1943, the Allies were hopping from island to island, getting closer to invading mainland Japan. Toward Allied victory in World War II, 1943–45. In Africa, the Allies defeated the Italians and Germans by 1943 and then invaded Italy, leading to Mussolini's fall. Meanwhile, the Soviets won the bloody Battle of Stalingrad in November 1942, pushing back the Germans in the east. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, the Allies invaded Europe through Normandy, France, forcing Hitler to send troops west. This helped the Soviets advance further east. In December 1944, Hitler launched a last major offensive, Battle of the Bulge, but failed. Allied bombing and invasion of Germany followed in 1945, and with Soviet forces closing in, Hitler committed suicide on April 30th. Germany formally surrendered on May 8th, ending the war in Europe. World War II ends, 1945. After Germany surrendered, the Allied leaders met to discuss what to do with Japan and how to rebuild Europe. They decided to divide Germany into 4 zones and let the Soviets, British, Americans, and French each control one. They also agreed to let the Soviets have a lot of say in Eastern Europe, even though it worried them. Meanwhile, the U.S. was fighting a bloody war against Japan in the Pacific. To avoid even more casualties, they decided to use a new superweapon, the atomic bomb. They dropped 2 bombs on Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing thousands of people instantly. This convinced Japan to surrender, and World War II finally ended on September 2, 1945. African American servicemen fight 2 wars. African Americans played a big part in winning World War II, even though they faced racism and segregation in the U.S. military. They served in separate units, often under white commanders, and were mostly assigned to non-combat roles. Still, some African American units, like the Tuskegee Airmen and the Red Ball Express, were crucial to the war effort. They fought bravely and helped defeat fascism. But even after the war, African Americans in the military had to keep fighting for equality. It wasn't until 1948 that President Truman signed an order to desegregate the military, and even then, it took time for real change to happen. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, comment,